try and get a haircut today. My hair's got all like, oh. Anyway, hi. So we have the solstice and the longest night, shortest day here in the Northern Hemisphere, coming up on Friday, and hi. And then we have a big full moon on Saturday at 0 degrees Cancer. I did my podcast with Jen about the full moon. It's really unusual, to have it's I think the next time we have a full moon with the solstice kind of within a day of each other, I think is 2094. So it's pretty unusual to have this big buildup of energy all happening at the same time. Yeah, I know. And I don't know really how significant it is. It feels significant to me. It just feels like, it is a massive buildup of energy. Add to the fact, if you've been reading my blog posts for the last couple of days, we have this alignment, this galactic alignment. Of course, the sun crosses the galactic center every year. The galactic center is at 27 degrees of Sagittarius now, though it's quite it covers more than 1 degree really, but I think the middle of it is kind of that. And the galactic center is literally the center of our galaxy. It's the sun of our sun. It's a supermassive black hole around which the whole Milky Way kind of our whole galaxy rotates. And the galactic center is believed to kind of, like a black hole does, soak up, pull things in, but it also emits new information. And leading up to this full moon and solstice, we have this the sun on the galactic center. Also, we have the asteroid, sorry, Psyche, who is very important. She's right on the galactic center as well. Now the sun and Psyche only meet together every 5 years or something. So all three of these are lined up on the galactic center, and they are aspecting Chiron over in Pisces today. And all of those are all at 27 degrees of Sagittarius and Pisces. And not exact, but we also have the moon's nodes at 27 degrees, so our karma and our dharma. So it does really feel like a real pivotal shift again, like another one happening with all these things lining up together. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of major stuff in the news. And I'm thinking beyond kind of the just the political news that's going on. I kind of think look beneath that and look for kind of new information coming through, and look for it for yourself too. It's kind of feels very, very big. So I'm just going to share the screen quickly, and then I'm actually going to, it's the holidays. So I'm going to share the screen, talk a little bit more about this, about what's coming up. We will do a journey if you want to. If you don't want to, then don't do it. I know Barbara doesn't love journeys, but you can meditate. You can turn the music off and meditate, or write, or do whatever you want. But I just want to talk about what else we've got coming up. Oh yes, as well. So today we have the Sun square Chiron, and tomorrow leading up into. So that's the Sun. The galactic center is 27 degrees. That asteroid Psyche is there as well. So all she's the soul asteroid, or I think was the name of her. We're kind of being soul blown open at this point, or it's available to us. Tomorrow the sun moves on, but really, you know, she's kind of still, oh, that's a year. I don't want a year. Hey, 2018. Not ready to go that far. You follow. Fair enough, Barbara. Okay. You follow Brett, though, our friend Brett, and I don't know if you saw, he was looking at 2048 on his computer yesterday, a big mutable grand cross, and I'm like, oh my god, I hadn't known. You know, I don't like to look that far ahead, really, because it's kind of funny, it's hitting everything on my chart, and I think I might die that year. But there you go. Oh, I'm going to put that one out of my mind. But anyway, I don't know what brought on. It's kind of the thinking about this new information flooding in. But anyway, the sun tomorrow moves on to 28 degrees of Sagittarius, because the sun always moves about a degree a day. And she will be aspecting Uranus tomorrow. So, you know, the galactic center kind of, it makes us extremely sensitive to all vibrations, color, all that kind of stuff. Chiron in Pisces is very sensitive already. Galactic center is about kind of a lot about new information as well. And then Uranus over here is the bigger great awakener. He's kind of the lord of lightning bolts, who kind of slaps you around the head with surprises and new and lots of change. So, you know, we have that, the sun trining Uranus. Then on the 21st, we have kind of a huge day. So I've talked about the solstice. So the sun just there is right at the end of Sagittarius and will move into Capricorn. I always hate the end of Sagittarius season. But on that day, look at this. We have Mercury together with Jupiter again. Mercury just leaving his shadow. Okay, in fact, let me give you the exact time that he leaves his shadow, or the exact day anyway. I meant to look this up, but I'm going to look quickly. I can't remember the exact degree that Mercury turned retrograde at. I don't keep all of this in my head. Oh, it was at 13, so he's a little bit away. But he's just about out of his retrograde shadow. But Mercury, Jupiter expands everything. Mercury is our mind, our communication, our perceptions. And they did meet before when Mercury was retrograde, and here they're meeting when Mercury's direct again. So this is another blast of information, okay? So you can kind of see where I'm getting at here. We're getting all this like amazing incoming stuff right into our soul. Okay, so Mercury is conjunct Jupiter, Sun enters Capricorn, Venus is out of her shadow, but she is aspecting Neptune over here on the solstice. So, you know, again, that's deep spiritual messages about our core values. It's quite amazing, this huge lineup. And I don't want to miss anything. I don't think I've... Oh, the other thing is Mercury and Jupiter over here are sextile to Vesta. Neptune in Pisces. Sorry, Joni asked Venus aspects what? So she's coming from Scorpio to Neptune in Pisces. So this is, again, deep. So we're getting connection from without, we're getting connections within. All this information is coming through. Then we have Mercury and Jupiter aspecting Vesta over here. Vesta is the keeper of the flame, or the keeper of the hearth. And she's in Aquarius, that's Uranus ruled. So it all feels very, what's the best word? It's very staticky. So I think there's a lot of static going on in our souls, in our bodies, in our minds. With all this information coming in, it almost feels like Morse code coming through that we've got to start making sense of, if that makes sense. It's not like clear words coming through or anything like that. It's very staticky, very Morse codey. We've got to kind of be really attentive to begin to make, yeah, I know, that is the best, I think that's the best word I can use to describe it, static. It's like, what's going on in the world kind of thing, and in us. It's yeah, very interesting. So that's just the solstice, of course. And then we have the full moon. I think I'm gonna really kind of let you guys listen to the podcast or something about the full moon. I will say it's at 0 Cancer, so it's in the Cancer Capricorn line. So we're being asked, you know, we're going to have this big focus with the moon's nodes. So the full moon will be 0 Cancer here. The moon's nodes have moved back into Cancer Capricorn. We've got this big conflagration of stuff coming together in Cancer Capricorn. Capricorn is our institutions, our governments, our banks, all that kind of stuff. We're being pulled towards remembering that we're all one big family, for sure. But there's going to be some major changes coming, particularly in our USA, because Pluto, it's a Cancerian country, so all the Cancer energy, and has a lot of Cancer energy in the US chart, is going to start being impacted as these all pull together, and these pull together too. Add to that, let me just go forward a few hours. I don't talk about this much because I prefer to look how it's affecting you, but it seems very relevant for this. Oh, the nodes and Black Moon Lilith. Oh, it's on the 23rd. Okay, let me go a little bit further. Black Moon Lilith crosses that 27-degree mark, and then the node goes back to 26 degrees, and then both of them conjoin. And this is all significant as well for the USA, because the South Node at 27 degrees over the next couple of days is on the USA's Pluto. The Pluto in USA's chart, no matter which chart you use for the USA, it's at 27 degrees because Pluto's so slow moving. And Lilith and the node, South Node, connecting right on that Pluto feels significant for me as well. You know, I'm not going to predict which way it's going. We kind of all know what's happening in the news. Your Pluto's 20, Leo. Yeah. So you're having, yeah, you're being aspected at the moment. I wouldn't worry too much about the 27-degree one, but you're having a Pluto aspect, Pluto 20 degrees to, it's called an inconjunct aspect. So it's not like a square, it's kind of a more minor aspect, as they call it. That what I was laughing about with the Brett Gemini Brett thing is that he posted this chart for 2048, and there's a Uranus Pluto opposition, and Pluto is right on my natal Pluto when that Pluto Uranus opposition happens. I didn't actually ever realize that I was going to have a Pluto opposition. But yeah, I know. It's 20 exactly, bam. And I'll be 89. So if I live till the 89, so that might do me in at 89. We're all going to die anyway, so there's not much point in worrying about it. But the thing is, I actually didn't realize that I was going to have a Pluto opposition, that all people kind of my generation, because Pluto's orbit, you know, isn't exactly regular. It kind of goes a bit closer to Earth at some points than others, and because of retrogrades and things, I was just like, holy crap, I'll get a Pluto opposition. Most people will never get one in their lifetime, but there we go. It's kind of funny. It is funny. You have to laugh. So yeah, so we've got a big time. It's in accelerated transit now, right now, which is why it's accelerating to over the next few years. Well, I guess 20 odd years to mean that people of my generation will get this Pluto transit. That's going to be really interesting. Pluto opposition, because it's 248 year cycle, so you can see most people will not get a Pluto opposition because that's half of 248 years. So wow, I might have to investigate that a little more, or I'll just ask Brett. He'll know already. He's the researcher. So talking of Pluto, on the 23rd of December, he's going to trine Juno. Now, Juno, the moon's on Juno as we speak. And, I've talked a bit about Juno lately. Juno is known as the soulmate asteroid or the marriage asteroid. And she does, in a personal chart, she does tend to indicate what kind of soulmate you are looking for, or your soul is looking for. But she also represents kind of women's rights of the oppressed, all that kind of stuff. So Pluto trining that asteroid on the 23rd, I think all of this incoming news, everything is all about it. I see more arguments going on right now about which way we're going to go, kind of thing. It's clear that our beloved president has shaken things up, no matter what you think of him. And I'm not going to go there, but he's here to shake things up and transform. It's his kind of role in his karma. And but I've seen more discussions because of the state of politics now about which way we're going, like as in free market, socialism. I've seen more arguments about specifics of which system to work for. Now, I have to say, I think we're going to not have a system that looks anything like what we've had before. I think there's going to be something new that's going to emerge from all this. At least that's my hope. But anyway, getting on a rant again. It was not meant to be political. It was meant to, your hope too. Yeah. I have these visions of this kind of more Knights of the Round Table thing, kind of Camelot, but with men and women, not just knights. Anyway, so a round table. I think it has to happen at some point. But talking of Pluto aspecting Juno, while Pluto's aspecting it, turns direct. So Juno is stationing. So yes, a round table, exactly. So that makes Juno a bit more powerful even. And in Taurus, she represents the rights of the oppressed, Taurus, but in Juno does. But in Taurus, that could be about our Earth as well. So 25th, Christmas Day, Mercury. Oh yeah, no, Mercury doesn't. Okay, now ignore that. I don't know why she's put this aspect in here. I got a list off one of my friends. But anyway, the 26th of December, Black Moon Lilith was actually conjunct Pluto. So she goes to the node and then Pluto. So she's in there, that wild woman, shaking things up again. So I'm not really going to go through all the aspects. You know, we've got kind of a few more coming up, but you'll read the articles every day, or most days. I might give myself a little bit of a break over the holidays. But basically, it's going to be not a very quiet Christmas, you know, globally, especially in the States. I don't think it's going to be a very quiet Christmas. Doesn't mean we can't have a quiet Christmas. We've got Ceres, and let's look at just Christmas Day. Okay. Now I call it Christmas, but Festivus. Let's call it Festivus because I'm not religious at all. So December 25th, Tuesday, and it will be a holiday for most of us. You know, it's kind of, you know, there could be some disruptions in families and things a little bit with all this energy going on around the actual day. Luckily, there's less exact aspects on the day. Mercury, early on Christmas Day, very early, will square Neptune. Expect the dreams on Christmas Eve leading into the day to be off the charts. Okay, so pay attention to those. But overall, you know, at a personal level, I'm going to say the dreams are off the charts. The potential for new ideas and kind of new plans, ways to do things emerging from the static, they're high. So there's huge potential, and I always like to look for the good potential. So I'm going to pull some Christmas cards, so to speak. I'll stop the share. You know, I might go and just get my hair cut after this. So shocking. I'm so not into like all this looking after appearances and things. I'm probably just going to go to one of those walk-in places. Oh, cool. Yeah, I waver between growing it and cutting it all the time. Because, you know, a lot of shamanic societies think that our power's in our hair. So it's kind of like, what am I doing to myself? Cutting it all the time. But then I like it. Look, I prefer the look of it shorter and it's easier too. So. Okay. Oh. See, I think that, you know, these cards are for this group. And I personally think that this this period for most of us personally is going to be a good one. I'm going to have to look up this. Well, first, you know, this is for the holidays. The first card. Look at that. Two of Cups. Love. Venus in Cancer, and we have the Cancer full moon. So it's like, you can't mind and make this shit up, as I always say. I just want to read what the book says about the Two of Cups. So, because it's not a card that I don't know if I've ever pulled it before. You know, I've had this deck for ages. I pull cards all the time. You know, I don't rely on my cards. You know, some people are like, oh God, I've got to pull a card for the day. I pull them when I feel the need. But this is just love. And this is the Cancerian kind of love. Nurturing, you know, reflects strong communication symbolized by the red dolphins. It's love that's internally experienced as well as externally experienced. And and it does represent the one of my favorite expressions, or what's the word? The concepts of as above and so below, as within, so without. So this really is, you know, Venus is love, Cancer is kind of family love. Look at the cups overflowing into each other and the fishes intertwined. And then we have the sky and the water below. This is a lovely card for the holidays, you know, for us. Then, another card. I love this one. Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter. And of course, we have Jupiter in his ruling sign. It's just, this card generally indicates that the wheels of fortune are turning in our favor. Okay. And this is for this group again. It's also the card number 10. So it's a 1, which is a new beginning. And look at the kind of magic behind, you know, I always look at the imagery. It really indicates kind of in our favor, as I said. Look at the bottom, actually. Kind of that cross is kind of falling away and things. And the Sphinx is at the top. I've never really talked about that. Sometimes I try and just feel into the imagery. And there's the Snake of Transformation on that side. But I really think we're getting... Oh, it's a magical card. I know. It really is. So I was really excited when I pulled this one. The Sphinx at the top, you know, I really think... and if I haven't had time to share my post yet that I've written, other than on Medium, but I will do. I'll share it in Patreon, of course. You know, I think we're getting some ancient messages through. So at a bigger cycle thing, the Wheel of Fortune is turning to. And then look at this lovely thing as well. This is so much integration in these cards. You know, we had the intertwining fish and the heaven and earth and the concept of as above, so below and all that. And here we have like the coming together of all opposites. This is the Gemini card, but it's the bringing together of all opposites. And at the back there, we have the Hierophant, well, the hermit figure. Yeah, me too. Joni, yeah, we've got some beautiful cards here. And Cupido, he's love as well at the top. And, you know, it's like we're getting blessed. Okay. I really feel I've got the, like my, it's going, wow. I think we're getting some real blessings for us as a group. Okay. And, you know, I'm sure this will extend to other people, but I asked for cards for this sisterhood. So there we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to journey to the moon. Okay, nice, lovely journey to La Luna. Last time I journeyed to the moon, I found my guide, my raven guide, Sarah, sitting on the moon. So who knows what you'll get. But, you know, we've got a full moon coming up. There's all this Cancer energy we're being pulled to, and the moon rules Cancer. I want you to go to the moon and just ask what messages you have for the holidays, basically. Where's my... Oh, here it is. And meanwhile, I'm going to ignore this person who's attacking me about socialism being communism and things like that. And Bernie's a communist and all that kind of stuff. I've decided I'm just going to ignore. Just ask the moon. Pay attention. I'm joking. Just ask the moon whatever you want. It's full moon. Go to the moon, have a conversation with the moon, ask it what you want, what you need to know for this full moon, for this holiday period. You know, just it's up to you what you ask the moon. But I find going to the moon, because the moon is so motherly, she's, you know, I always find journeys to the moon very healing. And it's your journey then, so ask her. Oh, I like that. I love that song. I love Bob Marley so much. So she's been very beautiful. And I'm feeling the energy of her, really have been feeling it, even when I couldn't see her because we have been having some really cloudy times, but hopefully tonight she's going to be huge because we've got no clouds right now. Okay, so I'm just going to do a 10-minute one. I don't think we need long to be with the moon, but I would just sit and bask in and let her give you a hug and let you feel that healing of La Luna, and just, you know, ask her what you need to know, see what you find on her. Like I said, the last time I journeyed to the moon, that's when I found my spirit guide, Sarah, who's a raven, who also happens to be, I do know that one of my paternal ancestors came from Ireland and was called Sarah, and she was kind of a bit of a witch. So she's my spirit guide. So who knows what you'll find. I'll be here afterwards if you want to talk. Let me turn my mic. Oh. was that? Cool journeys, I hope, to the moon. Holy moly, Joni says. Wow. Do you want to share? Up to you. You don't have to. You can go and let it process if you like, but it's up to you. Oh, I've got the mic. I need to turn it round. It was awesome. Sure. Okay. I'll unmute you. You got distracted. Yeah. That happens.
Hi.
Hi.
Let me see here. Just have to get my thoughts together.
Mm-hmm.
That was very insightful and powerful and empowering.
Good.
Yeah. So I've I was adopted as an infant,
Mm-hmm.
and have lived with certain traumas because of that, and that has influenced my personality, and that came up in this, and like this image of what was that, Oliver Twist.
Oh yeah.
And Oliver Twist, like, holding the bowl and going up and asking for more, please.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that I've felt throughout my whole life, like this, like being scared, and just for asking to be fed enough, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And the moon was telling me that it's not only my right, but it is my response. I'm going to start crying here. But it's my responsibility to grow beyond that, to heal that, and to not only ask for more. Like, at first the image that came was me holding this bowl and like slamming it down and like demanding for more.
Mm-hmm.
But then all of a sudden I was sitting at this grand table with the feast in front of me, and like this big turkey and all this food and all of these like friends sitting at the table, and I get to manifest this, and I get to share it with those that I love.
Mm-hmm.
And not only is that my right, but it's my that's what my responsibility in order to live the life that I dream of. I'm sorry if I'm going off too far.
It's fine. It's okay.
It was just so powerful.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So I feel like there's something with this full moon that is going to help me step up in a way of speaking out around my needs and my desires,
Mm.
and showing how I want to show up in relationship with others.
Beautiful. I would suggest going, leaving this call and kind of going and sitting quietly, or if you can get bare feet on the grass and drink lots of water.
Okay.
Just to really kind of soak that up, and just allow yourself to feel it. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And Barbara, I know you get distracted. I do too sometimes when I'm journeying, but I want to say that you probably still got something out of it, even with what you felt was distracted. So, don't kind of dismiss or expect perfection. Okay. Yes, exactly. Sometimes I feel like I'm just not there at all when I'm journeying, because of Gemini moon. But I always get what I need anyway. So, I think we run into perfectionism with how we should meditate and how we should journey and how we should do all these things. So, still go off and kind of just think about kind of what you got from the cards, the astrology, the journey, you will have got what you need. Doesn't want you to go pound my brother's ear. Yeah, she's probably right. Yeah. Hello. Oh, Rose comes just as we're finishing. Hello. Hi. Nice to see your face, though. Yeah, she's probably right, Barbara. Don't go pound your brothers. But forgiveness doesn't mean being a doormat as well, though. Yeah, I have to say. Yes, thank you. And I hope you have a great day too. Oh, by the way, guys, I am on a radio show tonight. It's at 6 Mountain, so 5 California time. I'll post the link if anybody wants to listen. I may have invited you to the event. I may have not. But exactly, never be a doormat. But so forgiveness. I will list the link. Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go and get my hair cut because I'm just like looking at it thinking, ugh. All right. I'll see you all later. Love you guys. Happy holidays. Happy Festivus. Festivus. I like that word for it. So.